everyone, I'm Quietly Gaming and welcome back to Rogue Story Playthrough. We are here on the level 10 quest. Hopefully we'll be able to get all of this done maybe today. I leveled all the way up to 30 on this class, so we have plenty of wiggle room now, and we can enjoy ourselves. Been enjoying this story so far. Fine morning to ye, Quiet. And a fine morning it is for a spot of work, wouldn't you agree? This time round, it seems some eager buccaneers scampered aboard a local merchantman and made off with a shipment of muskets. Now, seeing as it ain't lawful to cloy from the Limzonian vessel, to begin with, the Yellowjackets fell upon them daft coves before their boots were even dry. Aye, they caught the pirates right there on the dock, but stolen broomsticks were nowhere to be found. Fenced in a longboat deal, I'm thinking. That's when our guild was officially contacted to retrieve the goods, which weren't really needful, since the code wouldn't have had us on the job anyway. You don't bite the purse for your fellow Limzonians and all that. So this is ye, Simon, me natty lass. Find out where them weapons went and bite that shipment back. Seeing as the cutters as hit the merchantman are already rotten in irons, ye needn't rush to with ye stabbers stabbing. I want this job handled quick and quiet, and I have the perfect partner to show ye how it's done. Oh, please tell me it's the redhead. Please tell me it's the redhead. Oh God, please. Oh, it's the redhead. Oh yeah. This here is Keb, the Stray. Ain't no other rogue what can match her in the art of skulking. A pleasure. Redhead, I can sim. There's some problem, Keb. You seem a bit out of sorts. I'm bloody starving. I had one of them finger sandwiches set aside, you know, with egg-filled tasties they made from the Bismarck. But when I got back from me work, it was bloody gone. Uh-oh. That was Keb's? I thought it was Underfoot's. Oh no. Well, you just head out on the job, and I'll see if I can turn up the missing sandwich by the time you return. Alright, Jack. And one more little detail you should know. Them muskets was meant for Yellowjacket's armory, so once all is bob, you can hand the goods to one of their coals directly. Hi. You come here often? We can start whenever you're ready, Quietly. I'm ready. I've had a colleague keeping a waddle out for aught that might help us, so I suggest you find a few wids with her first. You'll find her in the Highland posing as a fishmonger. Hello there, miss. We've carp and trout, lobster and shrimp, but here tell you've been looking for a special breed of fish. The long, shiny kind. That's what Bark will put a bloke on his arse. We don't sell that kind here, but might try them foreign merchants. What was they called? The Traders of Edge. Them hail from the South Sea Isles and are known for dealing in all types of nasty spitters and cutters. I should warn ye, these folks ain't ones for questioning the source of their merchandise. In fact, they seem more than happy to pay for goods that came from below deck, so to speak. But if he's still keen on to get hands on those rare fish, then ye best hurry. The edge merchant what's visiting Limsa is looking to load up and leave the city before long. Just how he managed to transport his goods remains a mystery, though. What with all the iron blades and he's got nursing his operation, it makes it hard for a girl to get close enough to eyeball the completion it does. I'll be sure to keep an eye peeled on your behalf, but it might be as ye can learn a little more from the folks around town. Traders of Edge, eh? Well, if one of their merchants been staying in the city, then someone'll know something to point us in the right direction. The trick is to listen without being seen. You'd be surprised how coals will cackle when they think no one else is about. We'll focus on places what see plenty of traffic. You have the Bismarck and the ferry docks and the East Hawkers Alley. I'll try me luck at a few other spots, then meet ye in front of the guild when I'm done. Remember, keep hidden, keep quiet, and keep ye waddles open. Oh, this dialogue is killing me. Diving Doves appears distressed over some matter. Approach her while cloaked by your hidden ability and attempt to eavesdrop on her grumbling. Who? Oh, Diving Dove. Right. Okay. We cloak. Diving Dove is grumbling in discontent. The sneer on the customer's face. Does he think I can command the skillet to cook more swiftly just to meet his pressuring departure schedule? I don't know how things are done in the South Sea, but here in Limsa, folks appreciate the fine cuisine, cannot be rushed. Come on, Dove, you must not speak ill of the patrons. Now, what was next on my list? Another finger sandwich for the Dutiful sisters. Someone there must be rather fond of eggs. Nice. Okay, so we have one. Where's our next one? The ferry dog. East Hawker Alley. East Hawker Alley. Okay. This is kind of cool, I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Gerfel is speaking in a low but lively tone to a nearby customer, approaching him while cloaked in your hidden abilities in an attempt to eavesdrop on his stuff, right? Wolfer is hawking his wares to a customer. You have quite an eye for quality, sir. We have a splendid range of products from every corner of Eorzea, but one simply cannot visit Limsa without sampling some of the local specialties. Would you care for some freshly squeezed Lanoskian orange juice? Or perhaps our famed salt cod is more of your taste? Wolford continues to espouse the virtues of his merchandise, but his impassioned urgings appear to have little relevance to your assignment. Okay. Last one is the ferry docks, so the Fisherman's Guild. Which works out because that's where we need to go anyway. Rerenasu appears distraught. Approach him while cloaked with your hidden ability and attempt to eavesdrop on his mumbling. Is mumbling anxiously to himself. First, my sense of duty. Would that I had stayed at the wench for an extra pint instead of returning early. I didn't ask to see anyone being bribed, and certainly not my relief pilot. I wonder what that merchant was saying. Smuggling? Most likely. Should I report it to the Yellowjackets? But what if I'm being watched? I could end up face down in the harbor. Alright, we've talked to the people. Now we can talk to Keb. Hello, my fair lady. Welcome back, Quietly. I hope your skulking went well. He might be an angel of death with the dagger stuff, but any rogue what shuns the shadows is headed for an early grave. A sneaky Mort can nose about without risking a scrap or slip herself into the best position to ambush a mark. Once they've seen ye, your rum fun is done. Hiding is part of concealment and part distraction. And ye won't be disappearing on a cove what already knows ye there. Alright, I'm done battling. What ye managed to learn about our musket Mayan merchant friend? Slipping coin to the ferry pilot, was he? And by what he heard from the chef at the Bismarck, this trader means to hop the twig. And soon. That matches with me own findings. He's vacating his rooms at the inn and paid his dues in full. Being a merchant, he can be sure that he won't be leaving without his merchandise, so here's the plan. We wait for him to stack his goods on the pier, and then we ghost in and grapple them firearms. I'm hoping we can get the job done quiet and under cover of Darkman's, but it never hurts to be prepared for the worst. Sounds like he got a small army of sellswords on the payroll. I'll send word to the Yellowjackets and have them post a coal near Hawker's Alley. That way ye won't have far to bolt once you've bitten the goods. The mark should be along any moment, Quietly. Have ye got your skulking boots on? I got the skulkers. Got the skulking. Right. I've spotted the mark at the end of the pier. Sneak over there and lighten his load. Right. Sneaky beaky like. Heyo, don't mind me. You're not supposed to be here. Oh, 1, 2, 3. There's one missing. My crate of muskets, it's gone. Stop her, you useless sluggards! What am I paying you for? You, sir. You. So who brings me their hides? I'll lay these coals a merry chase. Nice. Evening, gentlemen. Don't mind me. Hi. Hi. These are our stolen muskets. The quartermaster will be pleased. Nice. Did the thing. And that turned hairy, didn't it, Gadov? Once he reached the Yellowjackets, though, the merchant called off his blades. Wise enough to cut his losses, I'll give him that. I'd say we're all done here. Let's head inside and tell Jack the bin news. I heard the sound of fighting coming from outside, and now I'm whittled the cause of it. I thought we were aiming for settle on this job. That many swats was there, but you got the Yellowjackets what they wanted, so all's well that ends well, eh? You on your way to becoming a first-class rogue, quietly. The job didn't unfold exactly as planned, but do ye see the value of keeping out of sight? Skulking might seem slow, but it can save ye time and a fair amount of bleeding in the long run. Speaking of unexpected developments, I've heard a bit of bad news for ye, Keb. I searched high and low, but it seems some unprincipled cove had waffled your sandwich. There were naught but crumbs to be found. No, my sandwich! It was Bismarck special. Do you know how much I was looking forward to that meal? My belly is about already to cave in on itself. 'Tis a tragedy of the highest order, love. And, you know, I can't bear to see me rogues in such distress. So I gave Underfoot a special assignment. He should be back any moment now. With a freshly made Bismarck's special finger sandwich. He did that for me. You're not japping with me, are you, Jack? This ain't no jappin' matter. 'Tis a guild master's responsibility to see that all his coves and morts are at his best for the job. And Jack, there you are. Ah, Jack, there you are. I've got the sandwich you ordered. And didn't the chef give me a waffle full? When I said we were in a hurry, maybe next time we could think twice afore ye waffle a fellow rogue sup. Oh, bullocks. Ain't no way. Jack, did you eat my supper? Now, lass. Let's not be hasty. There's a fresh new sandwich right here for ye. No harm done, eh? Ye clove to something that belonged to me, Jack, and I can't ignore the code. Aye, the code. Oh, we mustn't ignore the code. You're having a laugh, aren't we? Aren't ye, lass? Lass? Oh, shit. Oh, might be the swiftest stringing up I've ever seen. Punishment is a punishment to fit the crime. Take a good long look quietly. The code exists to preserve peace in Limsa, to keep the alleys from running red with blood. This city's me home, and I'll draw daggers with any cove fool enough to threaten that peace. A pointed lesson. Let's head inside, eh? Your sandwich will get cold. Hey, do you mean to leave me here all night? At least ye give me a grand view of the harbor. God's piss, these ropes are tight. And now we find ourselves indebted to the Rogues Guild. The Rogues Guild. Huh. The impropriety of it all. Would that I could see them occupy a cell next to those thieving pirates. Good shit. We found the end game. Alright. So I want to go inside? Yep. Let me in. I'm assuming we eventually let Jack down. Ow. Them rolls will leave chafe marks for a bleeding week. I may have wrinkled myself free, but that's the last time I let me belly do the thinking. Then you learned your lesson. And just think, Cap strung me up over an egg sandwich. Those coves what well and truly stomp on the code get it far worse. Keep up ye training, lass, and ye'll soon be heading out rogue justice yourself. Okay. Place an armory. Jack wishes to bring you on a tricky assignment. Quietly, just the mort I was hoping to see. We've some nasty trouble brewing. The client's on his way, so sit tight and pay attention. I'm calling Underfoot and the Stray in on this as well. It'll be a little rogue family reunion. Yes, sir. Jack, the client's arrived. Our guest here has come from Maelstrom Command with confidential orders directly from the Admiral herself, so ye know this won't be a simple job. I'm afraid our guildmaster speaks truly. 'Twas several days ago when an emaciated man stumbled into one of our camps seeking aid. Upon questioning the poor fellow, we discovered that he had narrowly escaped a life of slavery. He claimed that pirates had raided his village, abducting him and many others to sell on the black market of auction block. We dispatched a patrol to confirm the tale and found the village almost completely destroyed. 'Twas a meager settlement without so much as a guardhouse. Thus did its unkind fate escape our notice until now. You'd think that these pirates never even heard of the code. Pillaging honest coals and dipping their wicks in the slave trade, they're headed straight for a good stabbing. Aye, though it ain't set down in so many words. The code's notoriously unforgiving against those as raised weapons against the weak. After all, the first pirate in these parts were Coles what was fleeing oppression in the northern sea. Ignore ye history and ye risk becoming what was ye hated most. So, we have a mark for us then? You have a mark for us then? That we do. From the description given to us by the escaped villager, we've determined that these lawbreakers are members of the Jolly Merchants, a pirate crew in possession of an official privateering license. It would appear, however, that privateering has been naught but a screen behind which to hide their illicit activities. One can only imagine how many other Limsian citizens have fallen prey to those wicked slavers. And we've let it happen right under our noses. Naturally, the Admiral desires a swift resolution to this ignominy, but merely tracking down these poor souls who have already been sold is proving heavily taxing on our allocated resources. We could throw more soldiers at the problem, but that runs the risk of drawing the small folks' attention and inciting undue panic. Thus do we come to the Rogues Guild for help. We ask that you eliminate the Jolly Merchants and liberate the villagers presently in their custody, and that you do so with the utmost discretion. Got it. Consider it done. When those nasty coves will feel our short blades picking into their back, they'll enjoy but a brief moment of regret before the code is rightly enforced. Alright, let's get to work. I'll be going after the Jolly Merchants myself. Underfoot, Kep, you two lend your skills to the Maelstrom investigation to see what you can windle from the coals what have already been sold. Quietly, you're coming with me. I think you're ready for the next step in your education. Nice. I'm ready. Shall we get after those slaven cutthroats then? Our clients tell me that the Jolly Merchantman set sail from Aleport a few bells ago. Oh, aye. They might even board an Imperial ship or two, but that's just some mummery they're putting on to amuse the Admiral's swads. I reckon the rest of the crew be back on land, looking to snap the shackles on a fresh herd of cattle. And just to prove me theory right, one of them jolly bastards got himself spotted creeping about the ruffians in Lower Lanoska. There's a bean cove over in the Morbid dry dock by the name of Swarwince that'll likely know the full story. He's more of a shipwright than a rogue these days, but he keeps his gazes keen for the guild. Head over and have yourself a prattle, and you'll join ye soon like. I know what ye are. What can old Swartz do for you? Hunting down Jolly Merchant slavers? Well, that explains a few things. I was keeping an eye on the bustle about the dry dock, you see, when I spied that an odd trio off in the distance. This rough-looking sod, one of you pirates, I'd wager, was prodding along another bloke and this poor skinny lass. I've seen whipped curs less miserable than the two being herded. Last I saw, they were headed south. If what you're saying about this slavery business is true, then the Jolly Merchant not only is his charges all the way to market, no, he likely has a boat waiting for him. And if I were a slaver headed south, my vessel would be hidden somewhere along the Salt Strand. That doesn't leave you much time. You said Jack was on his way, yes? You best go on ahead. I'll point him in the right direction when he gets there. Thoughts came through for us, eh? Now, what do we got here? This one looks a charmer. out and move, I told ye. Me peg-legged grandma hobbles quicker than you, miserable sacks of shite. Or maybe ye need more thrashing, is that it? Ye already forgot what happens when ye try me generous patience. I'm sorry. Please, no more beatings. We walked as fast as we could, but we need food, water. Then get in the boat and shut ye traps. You'll get fed when we reach the other side. Yeah, sure. Other side? Where are you taking us? Are ye challenging me? Or just playing daft? I told ye to get your keep your bleeding mouth shut. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Leviathan's scaly arse, she's weeping again. Listen, we're headed to Aleport, alright? And that's where me and me shipmates gather to keep stock of the merchandise and decide what gets sold where. You see, some buyers want only lads, while others are looking for lasses. As long as we keep these rich bastards happy, we make more coin than we ever did scrapping for the Empire's war galleys. Not that you care about that, I suppose. What matters to you is you'll be loaded onto the Jolly Merchantman, sailed off to the gods knows where, and Lims'll be a distant memory. So if I was you, I'd fill the empty bellies with one last big gobful of sweet Lanoskin sea breeze. Damn. I'm sore tempted to put a blade twixt his eyes here and now, but that won't get the job done. No, we'll let him guide us to his mates in Aleport, then we'll mill the whole bloody lot of them. The Jolly Merchant'll get their due. Don't ye worry about that. They're gone. We'd best hurry to Aleport. Unless you've a quicker way, there's a ferry what leaves for Candlekeep Quay. I'll meet ye across the water, lass. Quietly, the Jolly Merchant coves still with his captives. Seems he's taken a room under an alias. Hiding their operations in plain sight, bold as brass, eh? But it's an old slaver's trick. See, even if some coals recognize the merchandise, only a single handler gets boned. The rest of the crew just whistles all innocent-like while their mate is marched off to cry cockles. And he can bet they've threatened bloody murder for any prisoner what raise a hue and cry. Patience now, lass. We'll just wait until we're sure that all these blackguards arrive. Meanwhile, you'd better sharpen your stabbers. We've a busy night ahead of us. Ready for the job then? Once the Jolly Merchants all here, we'll ambush the saws and set their captives free. Somehow I feel like two people really isn't an ambush, you know what I mean? That ought to be long enough. We'll just have to hope there ain't any stragglers. Listen closely now, lass. The merchants disguised as plain old venturers and have set themselves in 3 separate rooms here in Aleport. How do we whittle which coves are the merchants? Easy. Take a look at the daddles and what bingo swillin' coal over yonder. He's wearing lavender gloves and the same exact type what the nasty sod at the Salt Strand had on. And that'll be how they find each other in the crowd. Of course, it's also how I whittled where each of the bastards was staying. Just snelch the hopeless glazes the company they keep, and ye can be sure ye found ye mark. So, here's the job all laid out for ye. We hit all 3 common rooms, mill the merchants quick and dirty like, and get those captives their bleeding lives back. Alright? Oi! The storeroom door's been forced open. Some thieving sod's been at the ale. Oh. Well, they can't have gotten far. Better get the lads and do a sweep of the port. Ugh. Was the merchant cove gulpin' pilfered ale? You'd think they'd be doing their best not to draw attention to themselves, all things considered, bloody oafs. And now we've got a swarm of Yellowjackets buzzing about, looking for blood. If they spot us wandering around in the dark men's, I have a feeling they'll axe first and ask questions later. It'd be best then if the patrols never even knew we were here. We'll slip in sneaky as we can into each of the common rooms and use them telltale lavender gloves to identify our marks. There's innocent coals in there as well, mind, so let's try not to stab any as don't deserve it, eh? I'm thinking we should head out one at a time to better avoid them Yellowjackets, so I'll let ye take the lead after you quietly. Okay. Marks behind the doors up ahead. Don't let the Yellowjackets spot you. This? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Alright, so we got one. No lavender gloves. No lavender gloves. No lavender gloves. Lavender glove. I'm free! Okay. That's 2 of 4. Where's the last one? Oh, this one here? No lavender gloves. No lavender gloves. Lavender glove. Oh, thank you, thank you. I'm free. The That looks to be the last of them, and you didn't even need my help. Back into the shadows, lass. Not a bad night's work, eh, quietly? The Maelstrom is taking care of the poor coals we freed, and I've made sure none of the merchants we've downed are like to get up again. As for the jolly merchantman, well, her crew can expect a visit from the Admiral's finest galley, and it won't be for tea and crumpets at the poop deck. On the poop deck. Right, me natty lass. Our part is in this is done. Time to head back to the sisters. Excuse me, are you the ones who freed us? Was there something else we could do for ye, miss? The Maelstrom swaddles will take ye home if that's what you're worried about. Oh no, I know. I just wanted to thank you. If I may, there was one thing I wish to tell you. Moments before you rescued me, the dreadful pirate was muttering into his cup. It was something about another raiding party that hadn't yet made it back. I beg your pardon? It seems they'd been hunting for slaves in western Lanoska, and being so close to Aleport, our captors assumed they were out rounding up cattle until last spell. I just couldn't bear the thought of anyone else suffering as I have. Please, is there naught you can do? There is, certainly is, miss. You just get yourself safely home and leave this stray pack of jackals to us. I will pray for your success. Thank you again. Huh. So much for savoring a victory pint. I'll send word of this development to Underfoot and the Stray. We've some well-earned trade for the last of these jolly merchants. By the by, how's your throwing arm, quietly? I think it's time I learned ye how to fling a proper blade. Well, ye out in the wide-open rough men's, ye often find the need to sling a cove from a distance. And I'm sure a canny lass like yourself will figure out all sorts of uses for a well-thrown dagger. Just keep in mind for when we hunt down the rest of them slavers. Throw dagger. Nice. This last few jolly merchant bastards must be camping out somewhere in western Lanoska. Now, if I was a black-hooded, gill-gulping slaver, where would I be hiding? There's naught to do, not to the west, but Sahagan pools. Even those bullocks for brain pirates know better and to trespass on fishback territory. And they won't want to chance running into patrols near Aleport, so that must leave us east. The flock? Aye, they'll likely nest down in the ruins by there among the dodos. That's where we'll try to pick up their trail. You head on over and snelch the place while I send word to the sisters in the maelstrom. You got it. Okay. The kid here, he does not look good. Thank you for freeing us. We've been tied up here since those awful pirates snatched us from our beds. Those are some interesting-looking dodos you've got there quietly. No sign of the merchants, though, eh? Their leader mentioned heading over to Aleport. He said something about there was no signal, and that was the that was the signal that something was wrong. And they left us hooded here like lambs for the market. One of them jabbed about keeping the meat unsullied in case there was trouble. Pray let us flee this place before they return. And who are you to be sidling in and let loose our hard-won prize, eh? Aye. 'Twas the damnedest thing. We'd half a crew lodging in Aleport, and not a one of them survived the night. Done in by a couple of sneaky curs what favored the short blades, they say. I supposin' that was you two. Seems ye've a bone to pick with our choice of trade. I can't say I've much use for slavers, except as a place to bury me knives. Oh, and I wouldn't bother yourself with waiting on your ship to come back, neither. The jolly merchants are done for. Ye might have the right of it, lad. And then ye wouldn't know the kind of coin 3 healthy slaves like them will bring us. I'll have a new ship and a crew for a single moon as past. Ye hear that, cattle? Ye're each worth a shining bloody fortune, and ye've me to thank for helping ye learn your true worth. Ignore the bleeding sod. In fact, why don't you step back a ways? These coves are about to learn the consequences of breaking the code, and discussion is like to get messy. Did ye not think we'd come for ye? Ye can try a stifling victim's screams in the dark man's, but the shadows are always listening. time. Right. Thank you. I shudder to think what horrible fate awaited us had you not helped us escape. I knew someone would come. You're just like the heroes in the stories. And they always arrive at the perfect time and triumph over the villains. Do you think I could be a hero like you? I know I could be brave and strong too. I just know it. Aw. You don't want to be like me, lad. Listen now. Me and those coves there, we're the ones that the scary folk are afraid of. And that's because we keep the rules for the world we live in. We don't much care if ye shrink ye chores or get into fights. But if you ever break the code and betray your mates, then that's when we'll come after ye, no matter how far ye run or how well ye hide. Live ye life like the hero ye want to be, though, and ye'll never need worry about that. Hey, you two can stubble it and all. I assume you're the citizens who were abducted by the Jolly Merchants. I am Captain Malala of the Yellowjackets. Maelstrom's command has entrusted me with conducting you to safety. It's all right, lad. These folks will take care of ye. Go on. You'd best not get left behind. Was there not aught else, Captain? Word on a new job? A job? From me? For you? How blatantly absurd! Why would I hire a sewer rat to mind my larder? Damn. Was it just one of your jobs that had you turn Aleport into a slaughterhouse? What dark age is this that you must employ assassins to enforce the law? It is this, continued Dullins, with underworld mincrits such as you, that prevents Limsa Lumenza from ever fully expurging the stain of pyrical infection. Look at those weapons you bear. A civilized person uses such impairments to carve meat or peel fruit, and leave them at a table where they belong. Do you perhaps clench them twixt your teeth as you swing over rails like the pirates you are? My fair city has no place for those who refuse to abandon the brutish ways of the past. And only champions of justice this nation requires are the vigilant and forthright soldiers of the Yellowjackets. Jack, what in the bloody hells does this Cole want with us? I'm not the foggiest idea, love. Just smile and nod. I'm not here to be patronized. I've come to put a decisive end to piracy in all forms. Consider this visit a gallant throw at the collective feet of the Rogues Guild. Heed well my words. Just before dawn this very morn, a maelstrom vessel stocked with provisions was boarded and looted by pirates. Much of the cargo was stolen, and that is vexing indeed, but it is the theft of 3 items in particular, 3 unique treasures of nigh incalculable worth, that most distresses my martial colleagues. As for the brigands, they made well their escape, disappearing into the dawn mist along with their precious plunder. A rum tale. What's it to do with us? I challenge you. A contest to reclaim those stolen treasures. Should my Yellowjackets and I succeed in retrieving the greater share, I shall formally propose the abolition of the Rogues Guild. Upon review of our accomplishments, the Admiral will surely concede that your unscrupulous institution has outlived its usefulness. Blow it out, you waddle. I better say, I have better ways to spend me time. Oh, do you? This incident constitutes a theft against the nation of Limsa. Does that not violate your beloved code? If I'm not mistaken, you've no choice but to rise to the occasion. Unless, of course, you mean to slink back into your hole and abandon the fundamental precepts of your duty. Oh, she's mean. All right. You screech and shrew. You've made your bloody point, and you'll be sorry when you did. I promise you that. Your paltry promises amount to naught in the face of my conviction. I shall not rest until Limsa is free of every last buccaneer, scoundrel, and shadow-dwelling ne'er-do-well. Which is kind of crazy. What now, Jackie? For now, we head back to the sisters. Alright, while I'm running back, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye for this episode, everyone. Thank you for coming and hanging out. This ended up being a little bit longer than I had planned. Even though we're pretty close, honestly, to the end, we're going to stop now. You can see the other class job playthroughs on this YouTube as well, and my other YouTube will be getting a nice variety of recaps and such, so go ahead and take a peek at that YouTube channel as well. It will probably not be happening for a little bit, but it will eventually happen. So, take a peek at that. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!